Hey everybody, this is DaBeardedXeno, and I'm joined with,
EvilerOMEGA.
and we're going to be reviewing the DualShock 4 controller. Just want to point out, we have not played it with actual PS4 games, so we haven't had a chance to try out the touchpad or any of the new special PS4 exclusive features, but we've been running it with the PS3, and we're going to judge it compared to the DualShock 3, how it controls. So, you go start. You start first since you haven't actually played any real DualShock games. How does it feel compared just the first impressions of actually DualShock 3, DualShock 4?
DualShock 4 is a lot more solid, a lot more. It feels like it's a lot more durable. It feels like I can actually, get pumped up for a game without being afraid of breaking it.
Yeah. That's one thing that's always on my mind with DualShock 3. It felt so cheap that I felt like you could just snap it in half.
Thumbsticks are also a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. You see the gameplay running in the background right here. We're playing with DualShock 4 in that game. You see, it controls really smoothly. I like it. A lot better than the PS3's controller.
Not quite as good as Xbox 360.
No. The triggers just... They're really sensitive. Really sensitive. I mean, like, too sensitive, really. I mean, they're really, really loose and not tight and resistant like the, shut up. Not tight resistant like the Xbox controllers, but they're really sensitive. Like, you barely touch it and bam, you fire. So you don't rest your fingers on the trigger. Have them sitting out in front of it. Because if you have your finger on the trigger, you're going to accidentally shoot or something like I did in ACM.
Yeah, they're just way too sensitive.
Build quality, what do you think of it compared to DualShock 3 and then 360 controller?
I think it's a good intermediate between the Xbox 360 and the DualShock 3.
Yeah, we got DualShock 3 right here in our hands. It's really, really lightweight, kind of flimsy feeling. DualShock 4 is solid as a rock. Of course, 360 controller's got a good heft to it, although the DualShock 4 is heavier than the 360 controller. And the triggers on the Xbox are better. The DualShock 4, but the DualShock 4s are actually more sensitive.
Yeah, that's one thing I wish that they could do with the DualShock controller is make them a little bigger.
The triggers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really small. Like with the Xbox One, we haven't had our hands on those yet, but the triggers I know are actually like triple the size of the Xbox One triggers. Yeah, Xbox 360 triggers. But these triggers they work anyways.
Right.
Even though they're smaller than that,
I guess
it's just because they have a good base to them. The triggers on the DualShock 4 are the exact same size as the base.
right. And I still have my dinosaur Xbox 360 controller.
Well, the triggers are the same on that.
Really?
Yeah.
For some reason, they just feel longer on mine.
Try it.
Yeah, mine are definitely longer.
You sure?
Yeah.
I wish I had my old DualShock controller. So that the game stuff won't come around. But D-pad. Let's compare D-pad.
DualShock 4 better than DualShock 3 on the D-pad, but I'm not really sure what to say about the D-pad on DualShock 4 versus Xbox 360. I think the D-pad's easier to use on DualShock 4 than on the 360 controller.
Yeah, general consensus is that this D-pad sucks.
Right.
It works fine for shooters, but your fighting games and shit, no. This is definitely going to work better for that than that. We don't know what the Xbox will get. We'll get our hands on it eventually. We'll do another comparison. But right now, straight up controller review, what would you give this?
I don't know, an 8.
8? That's what I was going to get too. It's a good controller, that's for sure. So, whether you're actually getting a PS4 and you're super excited about that, or if you just still have a PS3 and you want to upgrade to this, do it. You have to connect it via micro USB, but other than that, it's pretty awesome.
Yep.
It works just fine with most games, and playing Killzone with a trigger shooting, it feels like an Xbox game, which is awesome.
Despite what some may say.
Well, that concludes the review.
Comment, subscribe, like. We always welcome feedback.
Yes, always feedback. Don't forget to check out all of our Xbox One coverage coming next month as well, and we'll do some good controller reviews, some tests, and we'll try to get our hands on a PS4 as soon as possible. But Xbox One's going to be our mainstay for a while.
Yep.
Next gen's fast approaching, and we hope to see you there.